Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett, as we get ready to head out to lovely State College, Pennsylvania. We're brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann Jewelry. We're also brought to you by Crani-Yum, and we're all enjoying a Crani-Yum on this Thursday as we prepare for a long trip out to State College. And guys, we've been talking about Crani-Yum for well over a year on this channel. It is a phenomenal product made right in Fremont. It's exploding in popularity. You can buy it locally at a lot of Hy-Vees or different health stores throughout Lincoln and the Omaha areas, and many gas stations and other places. You can go on their website, or you can just order online. You go to the website, drinkcraniyum.com. Use the promo code HuskerOnline. You're going to get 10% off your order plus free shipping. You can use that code unlimited times. Again, drinkcraniyum.com, promo code HuskerOnline, 10% off. It's locally owned, made in Fremont, sugar-free, has nootropics for mental clarity. It's all natural. It's a great, great product, and it's going to make you feel a lot better, and you're going to be a lot more productive.
Yeah, we need some clarity.
We've had some good cranium fed arguments this year.
You have. I gotta take leaves off my roof. That's why I'm drinking it right now.
Today you're gonna do this?
Oh yeah.
Some clarity being up on the roof.
I get up there too.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, trust me. The last time I did it, I was getting off the ladder and it's high, and the ladder did that thing, where it starts to wobble.
Oh.
Well, not wobble, went almost over. Yeah, it was rough. I thought, this is it for me.
What a way to go.
If I'm going to go down, it's going to be a lot better way than that.
No, all right, let's do.
All right, let's talk.
Let's do this. Let's talk ball, Coach.
Let's talk ball, Coach Self. Thank you,
Coach Self. Okay, Coach.
All right. Well, Nebraska heads out to Penn State, and we'll get into that because this is a unique game in the setting at night in State College in late November. But big story of the week is kind of a turn in the Nebraska relationship with the Raiola family. Dayton Raiola officially decommits from Nebraska on Wednesday. And I will say this, it was not something that we were expecting to necessarily come, because we had just gotten the information for our article that runs Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. that Dayton was going to be here for bowl practices.
Yeah, I think, Sean, it's sort of evolved. My read on it is evolved pretty quickly. It meaning the slope to the decommitment. Dayton has picked up a lot of confidence this year. I mean, he's a different player than he was going into the season, especially as far as confidence goes. And I think he's better. I mean, he's markedly better. He's one of the top, for instance, lifters on a team it's an extraordinary team at Buford. The big thing is his confidence is ramped up, and I don't know if he was comfortable with being little brother anymore. Little brother in the program.
Well, then Trey Taylor coming in.
There's that too. And I think, now this is speculative, but I wonder how he's probably a little overlooked too.
TJ Lateef here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a group of quarterbacks.
Yeah, but I think Dayton also is, you notice Dayton doesn't play the social media game much. You notice that? He's sort of old school. And I think, I don't know. I mean, you kind of got to be a celebrity QB at some places. And I don't think I got to be kind of careful here to speculate too much, but I don't know that he's all that comfortable with the celebrity QB thing. He wants to play ball. He's a little more old school like his dad.
And I wonder too, if he had any other name, he was just a quarterback commit, and you consider all the circumstances involved here with the current quarterback room, the players they're bringing in, just kind of his growth and evolution as a player, it wouldn't be all that surprising. But because his last name is Raiola, and what that name means to not just this particular team, but Nebraska football as a whole, it carries a lot more weight to it when a player of that name decommits from the program, because then you start talking about what is the domino effect of that. Does this mean Dylan's gone? Does this mean Donovan's moving on? What is this the tip of the iceberg of? And so that conversation just spirals out of control a little bit to where now we're talking about not even about the quarterback leaving, about what the long-term impact of this decommitment could potentially mean for the program.
Is this an isolated incident, or is this a all-out divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what we don't really know. Like, is this the first step of A leading to B, leading to C?
Here's the way to answer that, Sean. First of all, I can tell you this unequivocally. This does not affect Donovan at all. I mean, this is not, no, there's nothing there. Now, Dylan, I would say right now, as we sit here, there's no connection. These are separate situations, Dayton and Dylan. Dayton's situation is entirely separate. They're not going somewhere as a package deal. They're not, it's not Dayton's leaving. Okay, so Dylan must be gone too. Now, you guys know you read the board well. If TJ Lateef plays well in these next two games and they win one or two of them, then yeah, there's going to be a very serious discussion about Dylan and Dylan's future.
Because then there would be a competition for the job at that point.
Yeah, and wouldn't you agree, Sean? You're very good about the NIL part of this, the rev share NIL paying players. You can't really keep two guys like that, right? That you're paying $1.5 million, $2 million to. You can't do that, right? How do you keep two financially?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there's obviously you can get creative with the NIL, marketing dollar element, but the rev share, you're pretty locked on a number. Like, you don't have extra rev share money. Your budget is your budget.
Is it feasible to keep two starting level quarterbacks?
I think you can do it, but is that the smart thing to do when
Right.
you only have so much money to buy your roster? Like,
Right.
Don't you want to complement your centerpiece quarterback with talent around him, or are you going to pay most of that money to his backup?
Just to watch.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, it's kind of like how you want to prioritize your limited pool of money.
If Dylan were to say move on, I mean, you realize how much money would free up between Dylan's money, Dane Key's money, Rocco Spindler's money, Desan McCullough. I mean,
And maybe somebody else.
I mean, I'm talking the seniors, the free agent
No.
seniors that they brought in last year. They're going to be done. I mean, you're talking $4 or $5 million right there.
I know.
Like,
It's no wonder
so-
there's general managers now.
I mean,
You have to have a general
Oh, yeah.
manager.
I mean, you can look at it in a lot of different ways. If he leaves, it's because Lateef looks really good, probably. And
Right.
And then all of a sudden now Nebraska would have a lot of money to go out and get even more players.
Yeah, and today or Thursday, Matt Rose kind of asked about just like how you're on the kind of precipice of portal season and how crazy that this particular portal cycle is going to be with all the new variables involved with it. He said, well, that's why I hired Pat Stewart.
Right.
Like, that's the exact reason why we have a general manager, to handle the money aspect, because there's so much that goes into that, about budgeting the dollars and cents that go with each player, prioritizing positions, and how you're going to spend on your roster. And so the question of, like, do you keep two quarterbacks? I mean, I personally don't know if you do, but maybe Pat Stewart has a different plan in place to where it becomes a little more feasible than what we on the outside might perceive.
Pat Stewart, Sean. Pat Stewart, the general manager, wasn't really under the microscope the last he wasn't hired until the spring.
Yeah, he's done zero roster building.
Right. So now Pat
up.
Stewart becomes more in focus, right?
He becomes this master architect.
Yeah.
Where he's going to have to.
There'll
Yeah.
be a lot on his plate.
Along with Rule.
And the other part of it is who on your roster would get pay raises after the offseason, and who do you have to have tough conversations with, like, hey, like, what we're paying you based on what you've done, we can't give you that next year.
Yeah.
And-
What if
and-
you want to try to get Emmett Johnson back?
Right. Well,
And
and
you're
Matt,
paying him quarterback money.
yeah, Rule has made it clear that Stewart has these conversations with families. Now think about, you guys got kids. You have to have a conversation with a family and maybe tell them your son isn't as valuable as you guys think. That, it can go the other way too. You can say, we're going to pay your son a lot of money, and that's good. That's the good meeting. But there's a lot of tough meetings in that chair.
Well, and if you're negotiating as a player, you want to know how much is actually the rev share money, because that's guarantee money. If somebody puts in the deal,
Yeah,
we'll
good
get
point.
you rev share this, and then the NIL part's going to be that. That NIL part's not guaranteed.
You can't guarantee that.
You can't. How?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the Deloitte & Touche Institute has to guarantee a
Right.
deal. And I just talked to a guy at Georgia. I've talked to a guy at Alabama this week, and they're saying the same things I'm thinking too. There is no guarantee beyond the rev share as far as
Jeez.
what will get approved.
Right.
And that's going to be what we deal with, I think, in the months ahead, the power of this clearinghouse. But when we come back, I want to get more into the matchup at Penn State, as we'll talk Nebraska's offense next. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. And we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett. We're brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann Jewelers. 120 years. It's a Nebraska tradition, 4 generations of fine jewelry. Check out the Beat the Rush specials from November 20th through November 22nd this weekend. Get your shopping done early this year and save big. Specials include our famous Sartor Hamann diamond tennis bracelet. Yes, they are back. Save almost $800 on a 1-carat tennis bracelet and even more, all the way up to 10 carats total diamond weight. Other specials during the Beat the Rush, they're very limited, so get your orders in early or go to the website to confirm so you don't miss out. Your wife, whoever will love this. You will love it, and it will make it so easy to be the hero here for the holidays. Sartor Hamann Jewelers, give her a lifetime treasure that won't break the bank. And it could not be simpler. SartorHamann.com. Check them out on all social media platforms as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And when it's only the best will do it, Sartor Hamann Jewelers. It's Lincoln and Grand Island. Thanks to Sartor Hamann for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Show. But guys, let's get into the offensive storylines, because this again becomes a very big TJ Lateef game, as his debut was magnificent. The Pro Football Focus grade also showed that it was the highest grade that a quarterback had gotten at Nebraska this year in a Power 4 game all season.
He played well, wasn't under much distress. I thought that Holgerson's always pretty good at the podium, right? He always kind of drops some nuggets in there. They're interesting. I thought that little thing he said about how TJ Lateef went to him before the game and said, "Hey, coach, I got you. I got this. Call it like you normally would." Wow. I thought that was a wow moment. Like, that tells you TJ Lateef's very confident. And then he operated that way. We're sitting up there watching. You guys were amazed. I was amazed by what you were seeing, right? Now, he'll face a more difficult game here, but this is not a great defense. They have, let's put it this way, guys. They have 13 sacks this year. You know who else has 13 sacks this year? Nebraska. I mean, they haven't now there's one difference. Nebraska has allowed 24. Penn State has allowed 13. But anyway, I think Lateef can go in there and move the chains, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And it's two parts to this, from what he did against UCLA, which was absolutely impressive for a true freshman to step in under those circumstances and play with the poise and confidence that he did. You can't say enough about that. But this is going to be a different animal. For one, the venue is significantly more intimidating. It'll be senior day, night game at Penn State with a Nittany Lion team that is trying to preserve their bowl hopes. Like, they have to win this game in order to go to a bowl game. So this is a monumental game for their particular season and these seniors that are trying to play one more game of college football. But so there's pressure that way. And you might look at the stats and say Penn State's defense is not all that great. And I'm sure they've struggled, but they have athletes. This was a preseason top 3 team for a reason.
They do.
Danny Dennis-Sutton was one of the best pass rushers in the game, and his versatility on the line is going to give Nebraska some props.
It will
find ways to get him and all those other blitzers ways to create chaos for a freshman quarterback playing in just his second career start, that we'll see what TJ's all about. Now, the good thing is he had that bye week to give himself just another buffer week of preparation to maybe settle in and kind of advance the offense a little bit. But what he saw against UCLA won't be anything close to what he sees in State College on Saturday night.
How many drives can he keep alive with his legs? When there's a 3rd and 7 and there's nothing there, will he be able to get a few of those? I mean, I think that will be something to watch, because the Nebraska offense hasn't had that element.
No, that would help a lot. Every little bit helps.
Where you steal a first down.
Yeah, he can do that.
And I think that's in a Big Ten low possession game. If you steal 2 or 3 first downs that way, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought, because we didn't see a lot of that against UCLA. He ran 5 times for 31 yards. We thought there might be a little bit more than that, but I will tell you, he can do it.
His first play.
Yeah, he did that. And Holgerson has said he runs like a running back. So yeah, that could be gigantic.
Remember Dana back in the early part of the year, they kind of knew he'd run well, but they didn't know what it would look like in a game, because they don't hit the quarterbacks in practice.
Well, now they are.
They are.
They are hitting.
Do you think they're hitting TJ?
Yeah, that's what
He said the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
he didn't exclude TJ from that.
No, he did say they're hitting the quarterbacks now. I don't know. That's fine with me. By the way, as far as running it, you can run it on Penn State, Rob. The teams have run it on them. FIU ran it on. That's Florida International, by the way. Ran for 141 on them. Iowa ran for 245. UCLA ran for 269. You can run it on these guys. I do kind of what people do. I fall into this trap of it's Penn State, and that's all of that, what that entails. I don't know. The numbers show you can line up and run it at.
I think the key is 21. Emmett Johnson has to be the Heisman Trophy candidate that Nebraska is saying that he is, and play 100. The way that he did against UCLA. Because when he is playing at that level, you don't worry about TJ. Because you have a star in the backfield. It takes so much pressure off your quarterback, keeps drives on schedules, make the entire operation easier when he is playing like that. Now, what happens if you're facing a second and long and then you throw an incomplete pass? Now it's third and long.
Right.
And all those elite athletes on Penn State's D-line can just tee off, pin their ears back. That's what Nebraska has to avoid. So I put a lot of the responsibility, obviously, the quarterback's the quarterback, but Emmett Johnson, being the type of back that everyone believes that he is, will be just as critical for Nebraska winning this game as anything on offense.
Yeah, this can't be like Minnesota. And no, that will be one of the biggest mysteries ever. That game plan at Minnesota, your Minneapolis native running back.
Doesn't touch the ball till like midway through the first quarter.
You give up 9 sacks in like a 54 snap game.
It was an odd night. Now, sometimes in sports it happens.
Things get away from you.
Yeah, and that really
got away from you.
Yeah, but Emmett, now listen, Emmett is getting mentioned for All-American status. Nebraska itself thrust him into the Heisman Trophy conversation. If he's really that guy, he'll go get 100 yards in this game.
Yeah.
You knew
Amir Abdullah was going to go do that. Like those types of backs, regardless of the setting or the opponent, they got theirs. Emmett Johnson needs to get his.
Yep.
No, he's done everything you can ask for at this point. And I think he's almost a lock for Big Ten back of the year.
Yep. I think so too. And you know what? They've really ramped up his carries in the last 3 games. He wasn't going 28 a game until the last,
because they didn't know if they could handle it.
Yeah. And he's kind of shown. Yeah. That's his superpower to me, is his staying power. He's running it a lot. He's getting stronger as the season goes, and he seems to get almost stronger as games go. And that, he's had a week to get his legs. I mean, his legs look fine. So I think they'll load him up for sure.
Yeah. And the offensive line should be healthier. Rocco Spindler's had more time to get his hand back. I mean, I think they're set up to play well on offense. I mean, the crowd is going to be the crowd. I don't think it's going to be your normal Penn State night game level. It's going to be good, but it's not going to be like 2002 or something.
It's not going to be like Oregon whiteout or anything like that. It's
2002 was really rough. It was rough. It felt like the world was ending.
2002 was like being in a Philadelphia or Newark airport and it's having people yelling at you in all directions. That's what it felt like being in there.
I guess. Oh, yeah, it was rough.
Chaos.
It was rough. It was rough.
Just angry people yelling and screaming and booing.
And then there goes Larry Johnson again.
And Richie Incognito, that was the first time we saw him get in a fight. And you realize, wow, this guy's pretty good, A, but B, likes to fight.
Yeah. And poor Jamal Lord, I think he was making his first road start, and he wasn't ready for all that.
In that game.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested in the stadium setup. We're going to be like we're going to be in the suite club side, because they're doing like a renovation project right now.
Well, I bet it's nicer than what we had before, not to complain, but remember how those benches were like?
It was the worst press box in the Big Ten by far. Northwestern dwarfed their press box.
If you were in row 2, you couldn't see because row 1's laptop blocks your sight line.
I bet it'll be better.
I would hope it's better.
Well, that press box was built before laptops. That was the problem.
That's true. Everybody had their notebook.
So everybody but Sipple was in good shape.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? You just write down notes.
Oh, yeah.
Like you didn't need your laptop.
I thought you were commenting on my height for some reason. But
that's your God. Sensitive Steve over here. All right, when we come back, we'll talk defense next. You're listening to the Husker Online Show. And we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut as we talk defense. But before we get to that, this segment of the show brought to you by HelloFresh. And, it's that time of year you're trying to eat right, trying to figure out what to cook. You're busy. You're running around for kids' activities or work outings. You want to cook at home 1 or 2 nights a week or a few nights a week. HelloFresh makes that so easy for you. They have all the great recipes on their website, over 100 per week you can choose from, whether you want steak, chicken, healthy, spicy, vegetarian, you name it. They've got the right meal that you're going to want, and you order the right size as well. I need it for 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, whatever it is. They give you the exact number to order for as well, and they bring it right to your doorstep. Fresh meat, fresh produce, fresh ingredients, all the spices, all the seasoning to follow on an easy-to-follow recipe card. Some of these meals take 15 minutes to make. They're really simple, and most importantly, you're going to eat right. You're going to eat better because of HelloFresh. Again, the best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh/Husker10FM right now, and we're going to give you 10 free meals plus a free breakfast item for life. 1 box with an active subscription. Free meals applied as a discount on your first box. New subscribers only. It varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM to get those 10 free meals and the free breakfast item for life. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Show. All right, guys, let's get defensive storylines here. Nick Singleton, Katron Allen, 2 of the better backs going into the season in college football, have not quite had the years we thought, but still 2 NFL draft picks. This seems to be the main storyline. How will Nebraska, match up on these early rundowns?
Oh, yeah.
And will we see Nebraska go heavier and play with extra defensive linemen and remove one of those linebackers?
I think so. I mean, I think you absolutely will see that, Sean. This is a team that last week ran 50 times for 240 yards against Michigan State. Now, it is a team that only ranked 64th nationally in rushing. They haven't had the success on the ground that they thought they would, in part because I don't think they committed to it as much as they wanted to in hindsight. Their offensive coordinator is Andy Koldenicki, and he told that to Danielson. During one of those midweek production meetings. He said we kind of probably listened to the crowd, the fans too much, tried to throw it a little too much. Right out of the gate against Nevada, they ran 36 times for 135 yards. It was sort of a red flag. Singleton hasn't been much at all this year. He's averaged 3.9 a carry, 419 yards. Allen's the problem as I see it. I mean, he's run for 917, 5.6. He's the better of the 2, but yeah, they're going to I think, I mean, it's a weird conversation because it's not like they've hammered it at people all year, but they did against Michigan State. So that's probably what they'll try to do again.
They are on pace for their worst rushing performance since 2021.
There you go.
With arguably 2 of the most talented running backs in the Big Ten Conference, if not the country. That blows my mind.
Right.
Katron Allen is going to break Saquon Barkley's career Penn State rushing record. He needs 49 yards. He'll probably do it Saturday night.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you say that you can say that Penn State's not running the ball effectively with that in your backfield,
it's weird.
Is kind of throwing me for a loop a little bit. So that's, I think, where it starts for Nebraska. They have to make sure that doesn't get going, because it clearly has the potential to take over a game if they lean into it the way that they maybe, I think, are starting to gear more towards over the last few games. So it starts with not just, swarming to the ball, getting a heavy front, but Katron Allen, he's like 11th in the country in forced missed tackles.
He's a big
49 missed tackles. So it's going to be one of those deals where you have to have hat after hat after hat to the ball to make sure that you are keeping that in check and making what's his name, Grunkemeyer, the quarterback, have to beat you with his arm, because he still, I think, needs to show quite a bit more to view him as a legitimate threat.
This Penn State team is so misleading, because how many other teams in college football have played 3 playoff teams?
That's a good point.
I mean, they lost to Oregon in overtime. They lost to Ohio State, and they lost to Indiana by a foot. So you think about it in that perspective. They are one of the few teams in the college football team, maybe some SEC teams in the same boat, but they have played 3 playoff teams, and they've lost all 3 games. And that's the difference of them being what they should have been versus what they are right now.
Yeah, and 2 of those games were really close. You mentioned Indiana. Oregon was double overtime. They played Ohio State close for a half. Then Ohio State asserted its dominance. It's very odd. But again, Holgorsen said something it just stuck with me on Tuesday. He said, we have to play up. I mean, it's very interesting to me. I mean, Nebraska's 7-3. They're 4-6. But he said, no, we're going to have
How many
to play
playoff
up.
teams has Nebraska played?
Right. No, that's
Zero.
right. No.
Zero.
And as you pointed out, what is the spread now? Penn State's about 9.
So it's down to 7.5.
Oh,
It's fallen.
It went from 10 to 9.5 to 8.5 to now 7.5.
which brings me to my final point. I think that money suggests people think Nebraska can play them close. To me, this is all about closing them out. Like, I do think they can go in there and play with them, but I don't think that's very interesting. It's only interesting if Nebraska can actually slam the door. And that's hard to do now. And I'm going to tell you something. If they do it, it's going to be really hard to do. Penn State is playing for that guy. They're playing for Terry Smith because they want him to be their coach. It's not going to happen. Kids don't understand that, I don't think. A lot of kids just don't understand. They're not going to hire Terry Smith, but they want him to be their coach. So they're playing. They'll play. Yeah. It'll be really hard to slam the door on this team.
Playing for those seniors too.
Yeah,
they've gone through a tumultuous season where they had national title aspirations, and now they're hoping
100.
to just get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
And their final, they're just the emotions for that side of the field is going to be pretty significant.
I think it will be, Sean. I don't think they'll roll over. I really don't.
Well, yeah, even only one of their losses has been bad. Ohio State. Every other loss has been
right.
Their receivers have been the disappointment. They don't have great.
100.
They have not done well finding what is probably one of the easier positions to find in the portal.
Yeah, they brought in 2 or 3 guys. They thought they'd get the downfield passing game going at a higher level and never really materialized. It's weird how they haven't been able to throw it downfield very effectively.
No, and I'm not expecting a lot of throws in this game.
Well, Nebraska's the 3rd ranked pass defense in the country. So that's why Rule went up there on Monday. So we know what they're going to do. They ran 50 times against Michigan State and threw it 13.
That's
50 to 13.
That's why I think Nebraska will play heavy at times in this game.
Why don't you think they'll play heavy at almost? I'm not even at times. A lot of the time.
You would go Singleton, Guthrie at your safeties, and then at your corners, you go Donovan Jones because he's a bigger, more physical corner. And then obviously Marshall.
I have a hard time taking
Sierra right off.
I got to take Sierra right off. I don't know what they do, Sean.
Well, how do you do it then? Because if you don't,
you're playing 4 down linemen first of all, right? That's where I take the conversation first.
Singleton has to play more in the box.
Yeah, and you're pulling McCall off the field, right? And you're putting 4 down. That's where I don't worry about the secondary as much as I do the 4 down.
If anything, you take a linebacker off and put Singleton up closer in the box. That's what I would do.
I'm 4 down.
So that will be something to watch. How Nebraska plays Penn State in those early rundowns are going to be the story in this game.
And the 4th quarter.
In the 4th quarter,
because you got to hold up for 4 quarters against that run. You know how that goes. They might look pretty good for 2, for maybe 3, but now are they wearing you down? Those big backs, they're big backs.
Keep in mind, last time out, they had the opportunity to slam the door on UCLA, and they left it open.
They left it
made
open.
It unnecessarily interesting.
Right.
And so they got to avoid that.
That's what I mean.
You have the opportunity to slam that door, you slam it shut.
Right.
Nebraska scored on their first 4 possessions in the UCLA game, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a good example of, that game you shouldn't even have been hard to slam the door.
Mm-hmm.
This game, I think, will be much harder to do that.
You think?
All right. When we come back, Abby Barmore will join the show and we'll take your questions in the mailbag. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Back here on the Husker Online Show, Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut, Abby Barmore joining us here for the mailbag. This segment of the show brought to you by Ridge, and Ridge makes unbelievable wallets and products, not just wallets, though, keychains, luggage, you name it. Anything that you really need to travel with at a high level, Ridge has a premium product that's going to make your traveling experience much better. We're all going to go to the airport. I'll have my Ridge wallet. Sipple will have his Yellow Page George Costanza wallet.
I will.
TSA will have to really check that thing out.
I think it's getting flagged for sure.
Yeah, Ridge has got a lot of great specials right now. You can get up to 47% off online right now if you just go to ridge.com/Husker. Some of these things are already discounted. We'll give you more off again with ridge.com/Husker, the promo code Husker. Lots of great wallets. Get it for a present, a Christmas gift for somebody you know. never too early to stock up and take advantage of the Black Friday special with up to 47% off. They also have a tracker card now. So you can put a card in your wallet that will tie to your cell phone. So if you misplace your wallet, you'll be able to find it.
Whoa, that is innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how many times have you started to leave the house? Like, I can't find my wallet. And it takes 12 minutes to find it.
It's like wedged in the worst possible
You just
place.
feel like a loser.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel like a loser. Like,
Well, what's wrong? I lost my
Nothing.
wallet.
Yeah.
And then your wife's mad at you.
yeah.
You're an
everybody's mad.
idiot.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Wow.
let's
That got real.
let's get on to the mailbag. What do you got, Abby?
Okay, first one. Does Nebraska need to pick up another QB for its 2026 roster with Dayton decommitting?
I would not a high school QB because there's not going to be any left, like good ones. And
Right.
this Jet Tamala, there's nothing's going to happen with Jet Tamala. I mean, I've been asked that a few times.
What do you say to people?
Well, first of all, signing day is in less than 2 weeks, and he plays in the state finals. He signs December 3rd. He'll be in Alabama January 5th. So it's, I mean, look, it's not happening. I think the realistic thing is you'll probably see Nebraska try to find somebody from the portal as just another arm to bring in, like a quality quarter.
That's tricky, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
tricky because you got to walk that tightrope. The guy's not coming in to start.
Mhm.
Again, somebody that's good enough, but not good enough.
Marcos Davila.
Well, like, remember how we took, people were critical for whatever odd reason about when they took Gramstad. Why do they need him?
Yeah, now look, he's the
There
number
are people
two.
like that were like trying to push back on us for like explaining why you need this guy.
Yeah, and he's number 2 right now. He is number 2, and there's a decent chance you'll see him on Saturday night. Decent because a quarterback sometimes gets his bell rung a little bit, or something happens with his mouthpiece or whatever. Bad example. Chin strap's probably a better one. Has to come out. You could see some Gramstad on Saturday night.
You never know. All right, next question.
Okay, which position group needs to step up for Nebraska to go 2-0 to finish the season?
There's a question.
D-line.
That's it.
D-line.
Yep.
Talks about how the key to the game is stopping Penn State's run game. What do you have to do against Iowa? Stop the run. So, yeah, D-line. It's been the question all season long, all off season, and even now into late November. It remains the number one X factor
You know
for
what's kinda-
Nebraska's success.
What's kind of interesting about the Iowa discussion is Iowa outthought itself a little bit against USC. They only ran that running back 15 times, and the Iowa fans are like, well, why do we only run Mountain 15 times against USC? But no, you're right. The answer number 2, Abby, would be the offensive line, because these are trench games now. Iowa and Penn State are both big man.
No doubt about it.
Like Sean said the other day, this is a fist fight on grass.
And field position games.
Yeah.
Like sometimes a successful drive is getting it near midfield and punting them and pinning them.
100.
Big Ten, baby.
Huge, yeah. It's so pleasing. to
Trench
the eye.
warfare.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Which Nebraska player has the most to gain from the Big Ten game in terms of putting on good film for the NFL evaluations?
Emmett. I mean, it has to be Emmett. I mean, you're propping him up as a Heisman Trophy candidate. Like now, everybody's watching. You went out with this massive campaign to put him in the conversation. Now go live up to it. And if he does that with everybody watching, that's when your draft stock can skyrocket.
I wonder if he'll be invited to like the Senior Bowl and some of these things. If he go, I mean, look, we got to prepare for this. There's a chance that Emmett may not play in the bowl game if he goes pro.
Wow.
Opt out.
Like that's something to think about.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Boston College guys last year. Two of their best players opted out because they were getting ready for the draft.
Who else besides Emmett could help their stock? I mean, Singleton's always a name you hear.
Sierra Wright.
Sierra Wright's a good one.
Not going to be really a lot of downfield throws.
You wouldn't think so. Would he be tasked on Weegen, the Iowa slot guy, that little guy they go to all the time? That will be a matchup to watch, Weegen versus Sierra Wright. He's a little guy like Sean.
Next
wow. If Nebraska wins one more game, where are they going for a bowl?
I would say.
Oh, Sean's the expert.
Well, it depends on who that one wins.
Yeah, because the head-to-head
Yeah, give us both
Iowa-Nebraska
options.
winner is probably in line to go to Tampa. And I think if Nebraska were to beat Penn State and lose to Iowa,
Then what?
then it's Vegas or Nashville. And Illinois can be in that discussion too for Vegas and Nashville. But I think Michigan too is the wild card, because if Michigan beats Ohio State, Ohio State's still going to go to the playoff. Guess who's going to the playoff? Michigan. At that point, then Nebraska or Iowa or somebody could vault up into Orlando.
If Michigan loses to Ohio State,
Orlando. If they're 9-3,
if they're 9-3,
yeah. Orlando, and Brett McMurphy told us this week. The Citrus Bowl always will try to take the highest ranked available SEC versus the highest ranked available Big Ten. That's always been the kind of their MO.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So if they win 2 more, they win out, then where are they going?
Tampa or Orlando.
Yeah, depending on what Michigan does.
Depending on Michigan.
But
is there a scenario?
Vegas has priority over Nashville, right? They're ahead of them.
They get the pick before. And the way Nebraska travels to the West Coast, you would think Vegas would want Nebraska.
It's fine with me.
I think any bowl game would want Nebraska.
I've already checked for the record. Golden Steer, you can't even sniff a reservation right now. Not even.
Damn it.
We might have to go to Peter Luger's in Vegas.
Oh, they got one.
Yeah.
Might have to settle.
At Caesar's Palace.
Well, that would be just fine.
Plan B.
Don't worry, guys. I got a timeshare down there from my trip from the Crown and Media Days, so we can all just crash there.
And we can stay at Joel Makovicka's got a place down there. He told us that on our flight coming home.
I wonder if he'd be opening up.
Can you imagine if Nebraska played in Vegas, how many people would be like, Joel, can we stay at your place?
I do have a friend that would let us use his place.
I don't want to do that. All right.
Okay, Cutler.
Final question.
Okay, last question. What is the most intimidating away game atmosphere you've experienced?
Go ahead, Sean.
So there's been a number. I won't take them all because I don't want to be like, go through the list of them all. And then you guys get mad at me. But one that I will never forget was 2010 Texas A&M.
Oh, hello.
November night game in College Station.
Good God.
Mike Sherman was coaching for his life, and they made the Cotton Bowl with Ryan Tannehill, who at the time we all thought was all this bum converted wide receiver to quarterback. Well, he ended up being a first-round draft pick.
Jeez, was he a first round?
And it was a 9-6 game.
Yeah, that was wild.
The penalty situations, but they went all in College Station where they brought in extra bleachers around the field. And it was wild. And obviously when they orchestrate and rehearse their cheers, I don't know if I've been to a Nebraska game that loud before.
It was ridiculous. Were you at the one where Dave Horn ran wild in Texas A&M?
02.
Yeah, 02. That was
also a night game.
Yeah. That place is nuts. Rob.
Yeah. So the A&M, I told the story before about the cadets that swung their sabers at Nebraska fans charging the field, but I'm going to go more recent. How about the Ohio State game last year when there was the Ryan Day was like throwing his headsets and fans just started chucking stuff onto the field? Like, do you remember how like hostile that scene was? Because we were right there on the end zone. I was dodging like beer cans and nacho trays.
You had to see
a cheerleader got cheese.
Yeah, that was like the first. That was like the first time I've ever like genuinely like I might get injured if I stand here any longer. So I had to like move closer to the wall to avoid projectiles. And the whole Ohio State vibe, like you drive in there and there's like National Guard, like military barricades and tanks and everything for like security. It's just a really uninviting environment to begin with. And then just everybody in Ohio is just mad. And when the game doesn't go the way they want, they get madder. And we saw it kind of at its peak in that game last year.
Yeah, you can almost say about Penn State and Michigan too. Those fans get nasty when they're losing. As long those lines, the place I would pick is OU at night. Oklahoma at night is really rough. And the other part of OU is the players are so close to the fans.
So they only played 2 night games there in history, 04 and 08.
And it was wild.
And both were blowouts.
And it was wild. Like it is
the
the way I always put it is places like Ohio State and OU and Texas A&M, it's like wrestling down a steer. Once it gets going, once that crowd gets going against you, you got to wrestle down a steer. And it's obviously really hard to do.
A couple other ones. 02 Penn State's definitely up there on the list.
Oh God.
02 Penn State, without a doubt. We forgot about this one, guys. 2011 at Wisconsin. The Russell Wilson game, opening game of the Big Ten, where
it was
literally every Wisconsin person wanted to fight every Nebraska fan.
Venom,
because Nebraska was picked to win the Big Ten that opening year. and people didn't like Nebraska. It was
it was weird. Like walking back to the car after the game, I always equated it. It was like Tijuana with big blonde people. Like it was
people
nuts.
looking for fights.
Yeah, it was nuts.
It's like a Nordic purge,
Yeah.
Everybody's just out committing crimes for free.
Yeah, and they're just and everybody's big. I don't get that.
Well,
there were some Vikings running around plunging or pillaging a village.
There were so many people that are small and
notable former Huskers that were there. I won't use their names, but they were bigger guys, and they were in a bar, and people wanted to pick a fight with like these former Husker players, and these guys were big dudes.
Yeah, that was. We go to some places that are wild and tough to win at, and we're going to be going to one on Saturday night. But I just don't think we're going to see it in full-fledged Penn State.
07 Missouri is another one.
Woo!
A Thursday night game.
Yeah,
and then Nebraska lost. They got killed.
Yeah, those are like I remember when that Missouri Davison when he took that ball off the turf.
97.
Yeah, McKeever. We were walking to the car after the game, and Missouri fans have a hard edge. And I just always remember McKeever going, "Simple, just stare forward, don't look at anybody." And it was rough.
Would you guys drive all the way home after the game or stay overnight in Columbia back then?
I think we stayed. I'm pretty sure we stayed. That's a long time.
The old Big 12 days, though, you could do that.
Yeah, those were the days.
Kansas State, Iowa State, KU. It was an 11:30 game. You'd leave in the morning, pull into the stadium, cover the game, drive home. Well before the days of HuskerOnline postgame live, though.
Yeah.
Now we're the last people in the stadium, along with like the custodial staff.
We get walked out by the last employee that has to stand there and wait for us.
I think we've had 3 times this year where somebody comes in from behind us from around the air and it says, "You guys got to go." With that said, we will be on after.
Yes, we will.
HuskerOnline postgame live from State College. But thank you, Abby Barmore.
Of course, have fun.
When we come back, we'll close the show with some thoughts on the Big Ten. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Final segment here of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washhead as we talk Big Ten games. This segment of the show brought to you by Gametime. And look, lots of great tickets available right now to college football games, Nebraska volleyball games. But at Gametime, get online right now. If you're looking to go to the Penn State game, for example, you can get in for like under $10.
Do it.
I was looking the other day on Gametime. I'm talking like 50-yard line seats in State College behind the Nebraska bench for $50.
Yeah, what do you guys, by the way, what are you speculating as far as a Nebraska crowd?
I don't know. It's just such a hard place to get to.
7,000. But yeah, look at the Green Star, look at the Nebraska bench area, $25, $26 near the 50-yard line. I mean, these are great seats on Gametime, and it really gives you an idea. The big section in the end zone there is the student section. So that's why you don't see any seats available. But that's what I love about Gametime. It will tell you what seats are priced at a good deal. And you can, get a good look at what your seat's going to look like in the stadium. And it gives you a kind of a stadium view of what your seat's going to be. If you want to get tickets on Gametime, have never done it with us, download the app at Gametime on your phone or your device. Use the promo code ON3. And we're going to give you $20 off your ticket order at Gametime. Also, lots of great Nebraska basketball options. You can find Nebraska volleyball tickets on there. Any event you want to go to, concert, whatever. They have it all at Gametime. Thanks to Gametime for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Show. But let's get into Big Ten Week 13. Obviously, Nebraska, Penn State is the night game on NBC, but we've got a lot of other football. No Friday night games this week. But we get Minnesota at Northwestern. That game is at Wrigley Field. Everybody evidently gets to play at Wrigley Field but Nebraska. They don't want Nebraska fans to take over Wrigley Field.
I don't know, but that optic against Michigan was super cool.
Yes.
Why they wouldn't.
Yeah, Nebraska would be – think about the Nebraska fans that would load up those bars near – Sean, you're very familiar with that area.
I feel like they've done it on purpose because Nebraska has not had a game at Northwestern with fans since 2018.
Yeah.
And think about how many people would go.
I know. It would Wrigleyville would be full of Nebraska fans. Full.
The LA trips have become the new Chicago trip.
God, you might be right. I wonder if that's Northwestern saying, no, we can't have Nebraska taking over this thing.
So think about the timeline of things.
I'm serious. That might be it.
2020 was COVID. 2022 was Ireland.
Okay.
And then haven't been out there. I mean, they've never let Nebraska play a game in that temporary place or Wrigley or.
God dang that again. Michigan Northwestern at Wrigley, that works. That is a great fan experience. It's great watching on TV. Super cool.
Go to Slugger's Bar in the outfield or the Cubby Bear. Can you imagine those bars for a pregame for college football?
Well, if Nebraska were there,
yes,
and I'm sure Michigan inundated that place too.
Yeah, it's not like Nebraska is the only school that would do that to Northwestern, which I don't understand the holdup. They'll sell that thing out. If I'm Wrigley, I'm pushing for Nebraska.
God, but listen, it would be Nebraska fan. It would be kind of weird, I think. Like
be a home game.
Yeah,
it'd be like going to the Sanford Pentagon for basketball.
Right, it would be.
All right, Rutgers is the big noon game though at Ohio State. And it just tells you the power of Ohio State. They're a 32.5-point favorite on Big Noon, but Big Noon's like, hey, we'll take our 4 or 5 million viewers and put Ohio State on.
And name the score. That's what that game is because Rutgers plays no defense.
It's in Columbus.
Yeah, Rutgers plays zero defense. I don't know what happened to Rutgers defense.
They're still 5-5 though. I mean,
that's true.
They only need to win one more, and I think they have Penn State late.
I better be a little. They played bad defense this year though. It's a name your score.
They're undermanned.
They're limited.
Michigan State at Iowa in Iowa City. You would think Iowa wins this game big at home.
Yes.
16.5-point spread. Michigan State's having an awful year in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
0-7.
Iowa they have 4 losses against those big time teams. They're all close. It's been very frustrating for Hawkeye fans this year.
Yeah, they don't have a bad loss.
No. Well, it's Iowa State. Now they haven't been great. I should be careful here. Iowa State isn't a great team right now. Then it was Indiana, Oregon, and USC. Tough losses.
USC plays Oregon, and this is kind of a playoff type game. If USC wins, they might be in.
And Oregon could be out.
Oregon's best win right now is Penn State.
They could be out. Oregon probably would be out. If you're Petiti, Tony, you want Oregon to win this game. It guarantees 3.
Well, USC would be in then.
If Oregon,
USC would have to be.
If Oregon wins.
Yeah, USC would be 10-2 if they win this game.
No, I'm saying if Oregon wins.
Yeah, if Oregon wins, they're in.
Yeah,
but Oregon's got to beat Washington next week
at Washington.
I don't know. I mean, I think
does USC guarantee itself a spot
at 10-2? Yes,
okay. Assuming they beat UCLA.
Their losses would be close losses to Notre Dame. And then who's their other close loss to?
Notre Dame and Illinois.
Yeah, the Illinois one's a bad one for them. Michigan at Maryland. Maryland's 4-6. They're keeping Mike Locksley. It's in College Park. I can't imagine how dead that place will be.
Yeah, you can because you've been there.
No juice.
Yeah, no.
We stayed on campus, and I don't think people knew there was a game going on.
What are you guys here for?
The convention.
The football game. Oh, there's a game.
People, there's a lot of value in going on these road trips, and some of the value is just seeing how little football matters at some places.
Oh, yeah. Maryland is the prime example.
Yeah.
Nebraska, Penn State's a night game, and then a couple other night games, guys. Illinois, Brett Bielema rides in on his carriage into Wisconsin. They are an 8.5-point favorite.
It's a big old carriage.
Chariot.
A wagon.
Is rickshaw.
It's hayrack.
Yeah, it's
kind of a big game for Fickle.
Why do you say that?
I mean, do you want Brett Bielema to come into Madison and just twist the knife in you?
No.
On your senior day?
No.
Senior night?
Wisconsin's kind of I don't know. I don't want to say they're a total lost cause because they just beat Washington. We'll see. Maybe they can press Illinois. They should be able to press Illinois.
And we've seen them and now Maryland's ADs make the statement that we're going to equip our programs with all the money they need to compete.
Oh, I didn't miss that.
Again, no one knows what that means.
Right.
Everybody's got the same amount of money. Theoretically.
But theoretically, it's a weird conversation. It's weird because, it's odd.
We're going to give him everybody does if you're in the Big Ten. So then it's the other stuff.
They're talking about additional money. They're talking about the third lane.
That has to be approved.
Well, when I say third lane, I'm talking about unapproved money.
Under the table?
Yeah, well, what are they talking about?
Checks to Uncle Joe?
I don't know. What is it? It's odd. It's a very odd conversation in college football right
And
now.
then Washington's at UCLA. That's the 9:30 at night game. It's a doubleheader on NBC. But is Nico playing? Do we know, Robin?
Doesn't ask me. You notice that. Nico's in concussion protocol. I don't know if he's playing or not.
So we'll see if he'll play. But right now, Washington's a 10.5-point favorite in the Rose Bowl.
That's a lot. That's giving a lot of points.
Yeah, UCLA's 3-7. Washington. I mean, guys, Washington has a chance to be an 8-9 win team. It's gonna be a good year for them.
I'm in the camp that I didn't think UCLA was that bad. Their quarterback, when they have Nico, that's scary. On the other hand, high school offense, as you guys pointed out.
As you would say, Coach Butler.
Press box.
All right, well, guys, I will see you at the airport at 4 a.m.
Not 4 a.m. Not 4 a.m.
We board at
5 a.m.
5.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Show up 10 minutes before boarding.
How about 5 makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because we board at 5:30. Yeah, I'm not going to be there at 4.
I'm going to leave the house at 5.
I got to check a bag, so I'll get there a little early. I got to check the post-game show, but join us after Nebraska Penn State, HuskerOnline post-game live. Hopefully we'll be on between 11 and 11:30 Central Time. That's kind of our goal, depending on the flow of this game. But for Steve Sipple, Robin Washington, I'm Sean Callahan. Thanks for joining us here on another edition of Husker Online Show.